What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a V Premium deck profile of Nightmare Dolls. Yes, a lot of you guys have been asking me, Rico, do you have an updated list for Nightmare Dolls? Yes, guys, I love playing Nightmare Dolls in the premium format. Well, now V Premium, and I'm gonna keep continuing to play them as long as they still have a broken stride, just like Harry and Dark Lord Princess. Like, she's insanely broken for Pelman. So if you guys don't know, Clan Section finally gave us more Nightmare Doll support, and so far that new Nightmare Doll support is broken. It's so good. Anyways, guys, if you guys like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you guys have any comments, any negative comments or positive comments, any comments to make the deck better or to make it worse, leave it in the comment section down below. I would love to read about it, and I would love to talk to you about it. Anyways, let's get on with the deck profile. Of course, 4 copies of Nightmare Doll Alice. She's mandatory in any Nightmare Doll build because she combos out very well with Nightmare Doll Leslie. Next, we're playing 2 copies of Nightmare Doll Carol. Honestly, guys, if you guys do not like the other Nightmare Doll Chelsea, highly recommend to play 3 copies of her. She's still one of the best grade 3 rides they want to have as your Nightmare Doll Vanguard, because on Place Vanguard, top 5 cards, you can put any card. Well, I believe it can be any card, or if not, a Nightmare Doll card from the top 5 into your soul, and if it's a grade 3, you can separate call it for free. But the main thing is that you can soul charge for free. You can choose what to soul charge, and that's a huge benefactor in this build. So again, at the moment I'm playing 2 copies of her, but you can play 3 if you want to. And the last grade 3, we're playing 2 copies of Nightmare Doll Chelsea. She's okay. I don't like her as a grade 3 Vanguard. Or maybe possibly if I'm going into my grade 3 first, but she's a phenomenal rear guard, especially if my opponent has this on board. This card destroys Nightmare Dolls because we do need the Counter Blast, and this card just says no. So in this build, well, the main point of Nightmare Dolls is to do multiple attacks in one turn, and this card stops you. So this card, in my opinion, is a phenomenal card because after it attacks, you can put it into your soul, and then I believe it makes your opponent soul charge a card. Yep, it makes your opponent, you choose what card, and your opponent puts that card into their soul. So that's why I like her, mainly because she can help me snipe cards from my opponent's board, and if my opponent does have this on board, boom, Nightmare Doll Chelsea. Now for grade 2s, this card changes the game. Nightmare Doll Marissa. We're playing 4 copies of her. On place from hand only, put a card from your hand into your soul. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Reveal up to 2 non-grade 2 Workroid normal units from among them and put them into your hand, and then shuffle your deck. Really? This grade 2 is so broken. Honestly, I think it's broken in any build. So basically, if you ride as a Vanguard Rearguard, Counter Blast 1, choose a card from your hand, which most likely will be a Nightmare Doll Leslie, Alice, or Jenny, and look at the top 7 cards, and you can add 2 of them to your hand for free. But they cannot be Nightmare Doll grade 2s. So with that in mind, this card helps you get your grade 3s, it helps you get your certain grade 1s, but mainly your grade 3s, because again, you want to have Carol as your main Vanguard, and you definitely want to have Nightmare Doll Alice in your hand. So this grade 2, in my opinion, it's such a good engine. Like, again, it helps you manage your soul charger. You can choose what to put in your soul, and you're getting 2 cards for it. So technically, it's not a +1; it's a 1-for-1. But it's one of the best 1-for-1s that I've ever seen. And honestly, guys, I'm pretty sure we're gonna see a lot of other Pale Moon decks have this card in their build, because again, they don't have to be Nightmare Dolls. It could be any other card that's at least not a grade 2 Nightmare Doll. Of course, we're playing 4 copies of Nightmare Doll Jenny. Basically, she's gonna get out Nightmare Doll Alice, and then give Nightmare Doll Alice plus 5k. If you're playing the Nightmare Doll Alice combo, you need to play 4 copies of Nightmare Doll Jenny. Very simple. You want to make sure that she's in your soul at all times. Next, we're playing 4 copies of Nightmare Doll Brenda. This card helps you fix your board. Let's say, for instance, you have a grade 1 in your soul that you want to get out. You can do Nightmare Doll Brenda and get back that grade 1 to the board. And she can also be a +1. So let's say, for instance, we have a Jenny and a Nightmare Doll Alice in the soul. we want to get Jenny, so we're gonna activate Brenda's skill, put it into the soul. We're gonna get Nightmare Doll Jenny. Jenny activates her ability. We'll put her into the soul to Superior Call a Nightmare Doll Alice to the board. Give a plus 5k. Then after that resolve, Nightmare Doll Brenda activates. So her other ability is whenever that card that she Superior Called from the soul goes back into the soul, you can Superior Call her from the soul to the field for free. But then she loses her ability until the end of the turn. So Nightmare Doll Brenda is definitely a staple in any Nightmare Doll build. You can play 3 copies, 4 copies, whichever works out better for you, but preferably I love to play 4 copies of her. Next for grade 1s, we're playing 4 copies of Nightmare Doll Abigail. This card is honestly just too good. So, Vanguard, when placed, soul charge 1. So, it's a free soul charge. Her other ability, at the end of the turn, retire this unit and return a grade 3 work ward unit from your soul to your hand. If your Vanguard is a work ward, you can counter charge 1. So let's say you don't have any grade 3s in your hand. Let's say you don't have any way to get Nightmare Doll Alice to the board and they're all in your soul. So if you have her on board and then at the end of the turn, activate her ability, retire her, get back that Nightmare Doll Alice to your hand, and you can counter charge for free. So she's basically a good 1-for-1, which is not that bad, and she also just counter charges. And of course, if you're playing the Nightmare Doll Alice combo, 4 copies of Nightmare Doll Leslie. This card is too good of a card, especially if you have her on XL1 or XL2. Of course, like I said, you never really want to call her on a Rigard because your opponent can possibly try to snipe her, unless you're going to go for game. Next, we're playing 4 copies of Nightmare Doll Edith. She's basically a beat stick. She gets plus 2k, plus 2k for every Nightmare Doll on the board. So she could potentially be a 10k, 12k, 14, 16k, 8 or 18k. Overall, guys, she's one of the best beat sticks in this build. There is a grade 2 version of her, but again, our grade 2s were basically filled up. And honestly, she's a grade 1 booster, and she could potentially be a front row rigger. So I prefer Edith over Judith. Last grade 1, I'm playing 1 copy of Nightmare Doll Beverly. She's basically a backup. Basically, if you Superior Call a card, if you call a card in the same column in front of her, that unit gets plus 5k. So let's say she's already rested, and if you keep doing the Nightmare Doll Jenny with Alice combo, so whenever Alice keeps coming out from Nightmare Doll Jenny's ability, Jenny gives her plus 5, and then she's also going to give her an additional plus 5. So then Nightmare Doll Alice alone will be a 22k Rigard. And again, if you keep doing this combo, plus 5 again, plus 5 again. Go into the soul, come back out, plus 5 again, plus 5 again. So that's why I'm playing 1 copy of her. I would like to play more, but at the moment I just don't have the space. Now for triggers, we're playing 4 copies of when your Vanguard attacks, put her in the soul, plus 10k, and draw a card. Very simple. Next, we're playing 4 mandatory Stride crits. Again, guys, these are going to be mandatory in almost every build from now on. We're playing 4 draw. We could play crits, but honestly, guys, for this build, we need to have hand, we need to have certain Rigards, and we need to draw into them. So at the moment, I'm sticking with 4 PGs, well, 4 Sentinel PGs. And of course, very standard, the heal triggers. 2 counter charge and soul charge, and then 2 regular heal triggers. Very simple. Oh, and of course, on right starter, draw a card, get a quick shield. Now for G Zone, it's honestly the same, hasn't really changed. We're playing 4 copies of the Masquerade Master Harry. This card allows you to get multiple attacks in 1 turn, especially if you're playing the Nightmare Doll Alice combo. Then we're playing 3 copies of Dark Lord Princess Megatrick. Honestly, guys, you don't need 4 copies of her. You definitely need at least 2, and you could potentially have 3 copies of her, because you're never going to flip a copy of herself. So whenever she attacks, she has to flip over a card for her ability, and you're always going to flip over. Well, your first flip is going to be is going to be Masquerade Master Harry. Then afterwards, you can flip other cards. You can flip over Beatrix or her, whichever other card you want. But no matter what, you're never going to flip over another copy of herself. What she does basically is she gets you another Vanguard attack with one twin drive, and she gives you an additional Vanguard attack because then she superior calls herself to the board. This stride, in my opinion, is too good of a stride. I don't understand how Pale Moon got this stride in the first place. Next, we're playing 2 copies of Midair Megatrick Yeti. I don't know how to say her name. She's an alternative stride to go into. If you don't have all the combo pieces to go off of Dark Blood Princess, you can stride into her. Basically, what she does, when it attacks, put a card from your hand to your soul, turn a card from your G-Zone face up, and then you get an additional imaginary gift Excel. Call a card from your soul to the additional Vanguard circle, and that unit gets plus 15k until the end of the turn. At the end of the turn, put that unit back into your soul. So the number one card that you're gonna put is most likely gonna be Nightmare Doll Leslie. So if you do have Excel 2, you're gonna, after she attacks, you draw a card, and then you're gonna superior call Nightmare Doll Leslie to the Excel 2. So she's gonna get plus 5k from the Excel 2, and she'll also get plus 15k from her ability. So from that, Nightmare Doll Leslie will be a 27k rear guard by herself. And God forbid, if you do have the Nightmare Doll Alice combo on board, she's gonna keep restanding as a 27k attacker, which is broken. But like I said, guys, she's an alternative strat to go into if you don't have all the combo pieces, if you can't do multiple attacks in one turn. Nightmare Doll Beatrix, you don't really need her, in my opinion. If you want her, go ahead, but honestly, you don't really need her in your stride as a stride. You're rarely gonna stride into her because she's extremely minus. 1 copy of the Progenitor Stride for Dark Zone. This card, in my opinion, rarely goes off, but a lot of you guys ask me, Rico, are you now playing a Progenitor Stride or a Xerath Dragon? You do not need Dusk. I repeat, you do not need Dusk. He's terrible. You don't need to stride into him. You just need to stride into Dark Lord Princess. That's it. You could stride into him. He basically nukes your opponent's board and you can still charge multiple cards. But again, you don't really need to stride into it. Seabreeze, because Seabreeze is Seabreeze. One of the best G-Guards that's going to be in every build from now on. Dismal, because this protects your rear guards. God forbid, if you do leave a Nightmare Doll Alice open in the front row and your opponent sees it, they're going to attack it. They're going to do everything that they can to get rid of that Nightmare Doll Alice. And you're going to want to play Dismal to protect it. 1 copy of Megatrick Colt Heart. Basically, it gets plus 15k if you have a grade 0, grade 1, grade 2, and grade 3 in your soul. Very simple. And the main G-Guard that you want to go into, this G-Guard let you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, soul charge one of them, and then put the other 2 at the bottom of your deck, and then it gets plus 5k. So this card helps you fuel up your soul, and that's it. Oh, and it gets plus 5k, that's it. Not that special, not that great of a G-Guard. The G-Guard, the main purpose of the G-Guard is just to put cards into your soul. That's it. Nothing really like special. So guys, that is my Nightmare Doll build. We're still working out very well. The new support works out perfectly. Like I said, guys, the grade 2 for the new grade 2 for Nightmare Dolls, she's broken. She's an amazing filter. The grade 1 helps you counter charge and fixes the problem if you don't have any grade 3s, and if all your grade 3s are in your soul. And Nightmare Doll Chelsea, she's okay. She can help you with the Hunley problem, and this card is a problem to Nightmare Dolls. It's one of their biggest weaknesses. But overall, guys, this build is extremely fun, very combo reliant, and it's very aggressive with multiple attacks. And yeah. So if you guys liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you guys are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel for more videos. Every Thursday, Standard Mark Watch, and every Wednesday is going to be our V Premium Mark Watch. And like I said, guys, if you guys have any comments, please leave it in the comment section down below. I would love to read about it. I'd love to talk to you about it. And hopefully you guys will see some gameplay of my new Nightmare Dolls. Alright guys, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are being safe. And I hope to see you guys always next time. Deuces.